and welcome. This is a very, very pleasant afternoon here in India. And we have this second conversation with the Questioning the Answer series today. We have with us Priyam and Anant. Hi, Anant.
Hi.
Anant has been kindly consenting to hold the co-hosting part for all the youth series. And we'll start with Priyam. Priyam, do you want to introduce yourself a bit? Can you tell us something about yourself?
I'm currently doing my third year in BCom, and I am also pursuing my degree in chartered accountancy. I have lived in Bangalore for the past 12 to 13 years, and it's been a gruesome time this entire week, but I've been proficient with various articulate as well as literary association fests and literary association based events. I also am a professional drummer by virtue. I have cleared my Trinity Guide Hall exams, and yeah, that's me.
Okay. Anant, would you want to reintroduce yourself for the new audience who's going to watch this?
Yeah, I'm Anant. I am pursuing my master's in international relations at the LSE in London. I completed my BA in history from St. Xavier's College, Mumbai. That's about it.
Okay, I'll tell you a quick two lines about myself. I've been an advertising writer for over 25 years. Been there, done that. Have been running my own show for now around say 15 odd years. So that's what I've been doing professionally. The Values Workshop is a recent initiative that I've been interested in. Realizing my own efforts in doing the right thing in a world which celebrates success and uh, getting it all at any cost. So that's the objective. So the podcast is a series of conversations with different people, trying to bring in their level of understanding, their level of engagement with these kind of things. So today's topic that we've kind of chosen is how is social media affecting our relationships. Before I open this topic, I realize it's too open-ended and huge for it for a single talk. So I'll start with one little story that happened a couple of days back at my own place. Uh, there was a birthday in the family. After the cake cutting happened, everybody took photographs and videos, and we tried to do a live engagement and send it to our relatives, and something like that happened. With whatever success we managed to do that. Once we finished, and by the time the cake was being served to the rest of the family, I think all of us were sitting on our phones, and we were all looking at our phone screens. And when my brother came and tried to give us the cake to each one of us, he says, "Hello, it's not even a minute and a half." And one realized while we all smiled, I don't think any of us disengaged ourselves from our phone screens. And that continued for a minute or two more till the time he sat down with us and we started having a conversation. Now, the question specifically is we have various kind of relationships, professional, personal, uh, but today the posturing that we do on social media. I call it posturing sheerly because you can't be one person to 1,000 people out there. Obviously, there is a certain sense of persona that you are living. Uh, how does that affect us? How true is it to us? Can we start on that before we delve into our relationship with other people? Priyam, do you want to go first?
Sure. I mean, so anything, I think the most we think of personas is basically because we see other personas. Like, I think as humans, we always have this need to project what we like and project what we see. Like to this day, no matter where it be, it may be your profession, it may be what you're doing. It's just a projection of what you want to be. At the end of it, I think as a species, we're just chasing something like a projection. Like if I wanted to be a CA, it's because I want to project myself as one. It's because I've seen something in the past or I've done something in the past that makes me see some like CA as a huge like opportunity and a way for me or a path of life for me. Like everything at the end of the day that we see is what we want to do. There is nothing that we don't see, and that's what we want to do. Because I don't think there's ever been an example of somebody who hasn't seen something or thought of something or done something and then starts chasing it.
Okay, but that goes a bit in the philosophical realm, Anant. Would you think social media is a little more immediate projection of a certain, again, we'll just continue the word persona. Would you think that is the case?
To a certain extent, I do think that is the case, because your online, your virtual presence feeds into aspects of your life that provide you validation, which is false in some sense, in terms of how many comments you got on your post, or how many likes you got. It is good for a social cause to spread awareness, but many people hook their personalities onto how many likes and how much validation one receives on social media. And I think that's a bit harmful. There is a need to dissociate real substantial achievement from just basing it on social media validation.
Okay, that's very interesting, Priyam, because he's drawn a line very clearly between the persona that you mentioned. Because I realized that what you said was very positive and very good, in fact. I didn't see it as that before.
Yeah.
So that is me being a writer. Obviously, at some point, I felt that that expresses my some part of me the best. So automatically, I work towards it. So fair point. But what Anant is talking about is the immediate gratification that we get from the kind of or the validation that we look from the social media accounts that we have. So how do you
I mean, I
both as different?
So, I get the point of immediate gratification, but I don't necessarily see it as something that's so evil. Like, so as if me personally, if I wanted some gratification, I wanted something done, obviously I would want it immediately. Like at this point, I think all of us need things as soon as it happens. And I think social media is a very good way of where you can get the immediate satisfaction. However, there's a fine line between it, I think, that Anand kind of drew, like wherein either when you're lost in it or you're not lost in it. Like if I want to say or portray something that I'm not, or if I want to say and portray something that will only give me gratification and not because I have done something, that's the gratification I want. So let's just say I have done certain social events or certain social, activities that have helped the community, or I want to spread some awareness. I would do that and not like, want to seek the gratification because of that or because of something that I've done. Then I don't think social media is a bad way of getting that gratification per se.
Okay, I want to probe a little more there. Say, I'll take my own example. When I started the values workshop, I started it as a Facebook page. Uh, and podcast was a distant idea. At some point, I wanted to do it, but since I did not have the wherewithal to do it, so I started it as a Facebook page. I remember clearly in, I think 2.5, 3 weeks, I've been posting a story every day. So there was a like or two, and the beauty of it was never the same people. So I was happy. Okay, today Priyam has noticed it. Yesterday Anant had said something. Day before somebody else said it. Now there was a certain lull in the likes, and on that particular day, I started thinking: Is it really working? Is it not working? Are people understanding the motive of the entire exercise? I think I may have put up a post or two on my personal page saying I do not um, I do not like it in some manner, very mild way of saying it. So a friend said the जो आपने शुरू किया है इसको टाइम लगेगा, थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा क्योंकि ये चीज बहुत इजी नहीं है बात करने के लिए. So wait, bide your time.
Hello.
But
One second.
हाँ जी.
Sorry, one second. Hello?
हाँ,
Yeah, I can hear you again. So sorry.
तो मुझे ये समझ आया कि हाँ ये तो इशू है, बट इन स्पाइट ऑफ दैट आई केप्ट फीलिंग बैड फॉर अ व्हाइल टिल द टाइम आई रियलाइज कि आई नो ऑफ द लॉजिक ऑफ इट, इट्स जस्ट अ डोपामिन किक, यू वांट पीपल टू, फेसबुक का पूरा एल्गोरिदम ही उस पे बना है, so why bother so much about what you already know? And then my concerns is, now this is me who's a introspective person who looked at myself, who understood, but it affected me yet because of the engagement is not. See, we are all human beings. When you're investing something in yourself, where do you draw the line? Because you just said we need to be clear. Or where is the
Right.
point? How do you, as a person, do that? Since you would be
So,
active, I'm presuming.
so I think with the story that you talked about, I think that goes with any project. Like, let's just say if I start a business tomorrow and I want it to succeed, obviously there's going to be certain tensions or certain things that happen during the business. And I don't think that's avoidable when you consider something like, that the project being something on social media. So like, if that's what it is, I think like the thing that you talked about in the story, it's basically because it was on social media that social media affected you so much. Now, I think the line that we need to draw is basically wherein we do not change what we do or we do not change who we are simply based on the persona that you want to create on social media. Like, I think anything that, makes you want to change who you are or your decisions based on, likes and dislikes. So let's just say you started the workshop or you started a Facebook page and you kept on going with it. But along the way, you decide, what, if I make prank videos or so on and so forth, I'll get more views and likes. That's where I think we should draw the line. I think the things that bring about changes within you or changes to your decisions or the way that you do things that make you want to believe that you'll get more gratification or more likes or comments or shares on that is where I draw the line personally.
Okay, Anand, I think that's an interesting point is made. Is it consistency? If you're consistent to the goal that you have in mind and you use social media with a purpose of sorts, maybe not always deliberately understood in the beginning, but as you go along, uh, maybe use it for a purpose that you think gives you some kind of gratification, which is more a distant way rather than immediate. So can we classify this as immediate gratification and a delayed gratification of sorts? Is that what he's saying?
I do agree with Priyam on the point where having a clear purpose in mind aids one in being able to dissociate oneself from the virtual persona one has created, and I think that is super important. But I don't think about it as much in terms of instant and delayed gratification. Instant is, I mean, everyone desires some form of validation from others, but I think basing your entire persona around it is what is problematic. And as Priyam initially had also said, it is the fine line, but the fine line becomes more solid in your mind when you have a purpose.
Okay.